Hello, Kampala Junior Academy. How are you? How is life? Let us concentrate and learn. This is Science by Teacher Onat. I'm going to talk about friction. The topic is simple machines. The subtopic is friction. Now, I know this subtopic is not new. We have ever heard about this in primary 5. Now let me begin with the definition and the explanation. When you are moving and you try to slide, I repeat, when you are moving and you try to slide, there is a force that stops your leg from sliding. That force is friction. When you get your palms, then you try to rub. There is a force that stops your palm from moving. That is friction. When you are in a car driving very fast, then you step on the brakes. Then the car stops. The force that helps it to stop is friction force. When you are moving, this force opposes your movement. It stops you from moving. Now there I get the definition and I say friction is a force that opposes movement. Friction is a force that opposes motion. This force stops objects from moving. This force is against movement. That's why we say it's an opposing force. Another name is, for friction is the opposing force. Now we say friction is the opposing force. And the reason why we say that it's an opposing force is because it opposes motion. It's against movement. It's against motion. The word motion means movement. Now, rough surfaces give more friction than smooth surfaces. For example, if you get a slippery ground, you are going to slide, your leg will not be stopped by anything. Remember I said friction stops movement. It makes your leg stop when you are sliding. Now, if the surface is smooth, you will just slide and fall. Now, it means rough, smooth surfaces give less friction, while rough surfaces give more friction. Now, I say rough surfaces give more friction. Rough surfaces give more friction than smooth or slippery surfaces. Now, if the surface is rough, that surface is going to give more friction. And if the surface is slippery or smooth, it's going to give less friction. Now, we have types of friction. Types of friction. Types of friction. We have two types of friction. Roman number 1, we have static. we have static friction. When I talk about static, this word is not new to you. In the first term, I talked about static electricity. And that static electricity is formed when two clouds or when two objects rub each other. And when they rub each other, these two objects get charges to form static electricity. And there, lightning is an example of static electricity. Now I talk about static friction. We have another type of friction, which is viscosity. These are types of friction we have. We have static friction and viscosity. I've said static friction. When you rub two solids, and you feel that force opposing motion, for example, if I rub my palm, if I rub my two palms, the friction formed between these two solids is called static friction. If I'm walking and I feel resistance when I'm walking on the ground, that friction is static friction. Now I say static friction is a type of friction that occurs between two solids. I say static friction is a type of friction that occurs between solids, between two solids moving. Now, when two solids rub each other, for example, if the two solids are rough or they have rough surfaces, the friction going to be formed between those two solids is static friction. Then we have another type, which is viscosity. Viscosity is a type of friction that occurs in fluids. And when I talk about fluids, we can talk about water, we can talk about air. When a fish is swimming or when a fish is moving in water, there is a friction in that water that resists that fish from moving. And that friction is viscosity. That's why we always say that a fish has a streamlined body to overcome viscosity, to overcome friction in water. Then when a plane is moving in the air, in that wind blowing against, in that wind, there is that type of friction trying to stop the plane from moving. That's why a plane is made in a streamlined shape to overcome friction in air or to overcome viscosity. Now I say viscosity is a type of friction formed or that occurs in fluids or in liquids. Viscosity is a type of friction that occurs in fluids. In fluids like air and water. Now, those are types of friction. We have static friction, and we have seen that static friction occurs between two solids or between solids. These solids rub each other. Then we have viscosity, the type of friction that occurs in fluids like air and water. Then, when we continue, we talk about the advantages of friction. How can friction be a useful force? Advantages of friction. How can friction be used as a useful force? When we are moving or when you are walking, it is friction that keeps you on the ground. It is friction that keeps you steady on the ground. If there is no friction, you are going to slide and fall. It means friction helps us to move. Friction helps us to move, or it helps in movement. Friction helps cars to move. Friction helps vehicles to move. It is the same friction. Friction helps vehicles to brake. Then friction helps us to lead a matchstick. When you are moving, it is friction that enables us to move. Where there is no friction, you are going to slide and fall. Friction helps vehicles to move. That's why they are able to move on a rough surface. They are able to move on that road because of friction. And if the road becomes slippery, for example, when it rains heavily, if the road is not good, this car is going to slide off. It will move away from the road, or it's going to slide and stop moving. That's why when a car fails to move, if the road is not good, this is where they put gravel. They put gravel in the middle of the road. When I talk about gravel, it means small stones. This is where they put small stones in the middle of the road to increase friction so that the car does not slide off. Then friction helps vehicles to brake. When you look at the tire of a car, there are two pads. These pads hold the wheel. There is a wheel and the two pads. A car to stop, these two pads hold the wheel to increase friction. When these two solids are together, the car stops. It means it is friction that enables a car or a vehicle to brake. When you look at a bicycle, on the tire there are some rubber materials. If you want a bicycle to stop, there's where you hold, and these rubber pads hold the wheel to stop. It means it is friction force that helps vehicles to brake. Friction helps us to lead a matchstick. When you get a matchbox and a matchstick, you rub the matchstick on the matchbox. When you rub, you are creating friction. When you rub these two solids, and that is static friction. When you rub those two solids, friction is formed between those two solids, and what happens? They become hot, and when they become hot, fire is set. It means friction helps us to light a matchstick. Then there are other advantages of friction. Other ways how we can use friction as a useful force. We can say friction helps us to sharpen metallic tools. When you get a knife, if the knife is not sharp, you get a stone, and a stone is a rough surface. I said at the beginning that rough surfaces give more friction. You get a stone, then you rub this metallic tool, and when you rub those two solids, static friction is formed. And in the process, the tool becomes sharp. It means to sharpen a knife and other tools, friction is supposed to be used. It means friction helps us to sharpen metallic tools. And it was the same friction that was used by Ahriman to discover fire. He rubbed the two sticks, and that friction between those two solids formed fire. Now today we use friction force to light matchsticks. Then when we are writing work, still we use friction force. Friction enables us to write. Friction enable or helps us to write. It is this friction that keeps a pen on a book. If there is no friction, this pen will just slide away from the book and you will not be able to write. There is a question they always ask, that how is friction important, or how useful is this friction to a P7 candidate? You will say friction enables us to write. And you ask you, how does friction help a P7? How can this friction help a P7 child to write work? It keeps a pen stable on a book. Friction force keeps a pen on a book. And I said without friction, it will just slide off. These are some of the uses of friction. These are some of the ways how you can use friction as a useful force. There are very many. But I've mentioned 6. You can even make 10. There are very many. You can say friction helps us when washing clothes, because you get your arm or your palm, then you get a piece of cloth, then you start wringing, you start squeezing. So that is friction. You can use the same friction to clean metallic utensils like saucepans. If you get sandy soil, you put on a saucepan, then you start rubbing. You are rubbing two solids, you are rubbing sandy soil and the metallic utensil. In the process, you are cleaning the utensil. Those are some of the ways how friction can be a useful force. Now Next time we shall talk about the ways how friction can be a nuisance force. We shall talk about the disadvantages of friction force. Let me stop here. We shall begin from there next time. Thank you.